Reading book is a great life experience, but also not everyone likes to reading books, or not everyone likes to read every time, and it's so normal, of course. But people have prejudice to some book types or all books. So I want to encourage you to get out of your prejudice and try new book types. So maybe you will like it or not, but I think try it first is better. So all books classified as either fiction books or non-fiction books. Non-fiction books are has a factual information, such as biographies, not biographies actually, most biographies and essay books. Fiction books are more, perhaps fiction books can influence from the truth. Actually, some people think fiction books are a waste of time, and I think it's not true, because fiction books can teach you most of things, not most of things, but fiction books can teach you something too. For example, Dostoevsky's novels contains important psychological analysis. Some psychologists like Jordan Peterson recommends some of Dostoevsky's novels to their students. So I think if you have a prejudice to fiction books, I think you should try some of them. So let's talk about some of the subtypes of fiction and non-fiction books. There's dozens of them actually, and I don't mention all of them, but I will only talk about some popular ones. Like in fiction books, first of all, in fiction books we have action and adventure, classics, poetry, romance, and child's books, actually known as child literature. In non-fiction books, we have art and architecture, biography, most of them, cookbooks, dictionaries, history, philosophy, and memoirs. Memoirs. So, to open them, actually, most of them are, you can understand from their names, like action and adventure, most of. But let's talk about some of them, and maybe it will help you, I don't know. In classics, I think at least one you will read classics. Classics are, people call classics actually for the books which have been around there for decades and has a still impact in generations. So I think classics are really important. Poetry, romance. Actually, I think in fiction, we have most prejudice in romance and children's book. Okay, children's book is to children under age of 12 mostly, and it's normal. But in romance, I don't know. If you don't try it, I think you should try it. And in non-fictions, actually philosophies, because in philosophy books, it's hard to understand if you don't begin with the easy to understand books. So I think if you don't read them, maybe you should give it a try to more easy to understand philosophy books. And I think that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and I hope you will try new types and would like to read them. Enjoy reading.